is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. The sun is shining. It definitely feels like spring is here. For a lot of our viewers, they're reporting their first 50-degree day. But will these mild temperatures last? Let's get a first look at our forecast with meteorologist Nathan Hopper. Nathan?
Stacy, absolutely fantastic out there for March 2nd, the second day of meteorological spring. And look at these temperatures, the temperature change in the past 24 hours. Right now, we're 37 degrees warmer at this hour than we were yesterday in Fargo, 37 degrees warmer also in Aberdeen, 29 degrees warmer in Devils Lake, 30 degrees warmer in Alexandria. And so I'm sure you're wondering, Nathan, what are the current temperatures? Well, there you go. 50 in Fargo, 51 in Grand Forks, 55 in Oaks. 63 for our friends in the Sisseton Hills, 67 in Aberdeen. Still holding on to some upper 30s, 39 in Langdon, 39 in Halleck. But you know what? With some sunshine, I don't think anybody's complaining about these temperatures. We do have a few clouds, though, moving into our northern neighborhoods, and this is associated with a weak cool front right here, just approaching the international border. And this will bring some cooler temperatures tonight and for Wednesday. But when I say cooler, I'm not talking cold, Stacy. That's the good news. We're talking just a little bit cooler. But of course, we'll talk about just how cool tomorrow will be. And of course, get folks through into the weekend coming up here in a couple minutes.
All right, Nathan, thanks so much. Here's a look at today's Top 4 at 4. Fargo police have now released the name of the man behind yesterday's crash, shooting, and armed robbery reports. Officers first responded to the crash at 17th Avenue South and 45th Street South just after 1 a.m. As they investigated the crash, someone reported gunshots on East Gateway Circle South. Another man said his vehicle was stolen in an armed robbery. Officers learned all three of these incidents were related. They say Damon Peterson was transported from a local hospital to the Cass County Jail and booked for the charges of terrorizing and criminal conspiracy. Police say Peterson and the victim knew each other. We're learning more about the hit-and-run accident that landed a teenager in jail and a woman in the hospital. It happened last Wednesday on I-94 near Fergus Falls. It started when one vehicle crashed on the interstate and the driver got out to check on the damage. While she was out of the vehicle, another car not only hit her, but also smashed into a tow truck and a third vehicle. The two people inside that car tried to run, but were eventually caught. The driver, a 15-year-old, is in the Clay County Juvenile Detention Center. His passenger was identified as 18-year-old Amani Ashford from St. Paul. Minnesota State Patrol says the pedestrian hit is 28-year-old Hillary Langfield from Rothsay. No word tonight on how she's doing. A bridge in Bemidji is damaged after a fire. It happened yesterday afternoon under the BNSF bridge located across the Mississippi River between Lake Irving and Lake Bemidji. The cause is still under investigation, but officials say it doesn't appear to be suspicious. An Iowa company plans to store millions of tons of carbon dioxide underground in North Dakota. Summit Carbon Solutions says the $2 billion plan is to take CO2 from at least 17 Midwestern ethanol plants and pipe it into North Dakota, where it'll be injected into wells and stored underground. Summit says the project has the potential to capture and store up to 10 million tons of carbon dioxide, the equivalent of taking 2 million cars off the road. The company also says the project will create 10,000 temporary jobs over the 16 months of construction. Seniors in Clay County have an opportunity to get their vaccine tomorrow. Clay County Public Health is hosting another vaccine clinic in Moorhead. It's for any Clay County residents 65 and over. It'll take place at the Yumcomb Center from 1 to 5 p.m. You can register over the phone at the number on your screen, 218-299-7204, or you can register online. Just head over to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. As Johnson & Johnson's vaccine receives approval, Sanford Health says the extra doses will surely help. North Dakota is expecting to receive 6,600 doses of the new vaccine in the first shipment. The amount of vaccine Sanford will receive is to be determined.
One single dose for the vaccine. The second one being it does not need the ultra cold storage and making it a little easier to get, for example, to rural populations, smaller areas.
A majority of the vaccine administered by Sanford is Pfizer. Today, the White House moved up its vaccine supply timeline, now saying it will have enough for every adult in the U.S. by May. Johnson & Johnson will soon get some help in the manufacturing of its vaccine. Pharmaceutical company Merck will help produce the single-shot vaccine. The arrangement comes after officials found out that Johnson & Johnson had fallen behind on production. The FDA authorized the vaccine for emergency use over the weekend, making it the nation's third coronavirus vaccine. Roughly 4 million doses were shipped out yesterday, and Johnson & Johnson has pledged 16 million by the end of this month. Twitter says it will begin labeling posts that contain misinformation about COVID-19 vaccines. The labels will alert users that health officials consider vaccines for the coronavirus to be safe for most people. They may also contain links to content from trusted sources on vaccines. More than one violation will lead to accounts being locked, and 5 or more will trigger permanent suspensions. Twitter says it has already removed more than 8,400 tweets and challenged 11.5 million accounts worldwide under its new rules surrounding coronavirus misinformation in general. For an easy way for you to stay on top of the latest COVID vaccine-related information, use our VNL vaccine tracker. Visit our website or open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. The $1.9 trillion COVID rescue bill moves to the Senate now after passing the House, and partisan markers are already being laid. The bill passed the Democratic majority House with no GOP votes, and Senate Republicans appear equally sour on the package. They say it's full of unrelated progressive spending items, with special criticism for $350 billion in direct aid to states and cities. But Democratic leader Chuck Schumer echoed President Biden, arguing it's critical for a big legislative package to tackle the historic health and economic damage brought on by the pandemic.
But the job is not complete. The American Rescue Plan is designed to finish the job, to patch up the holes in our economy and lay a foundation for recovery, to keep struggling businesses, families, and workers afloat until brighter days appear on the horizon, to send our children back to school as quickly and safely as possible, and to defeat this evil disease once and for all.
Democrats will use a legislative procedure to pass the Senate bill with a bare majority vote if needed, but the $15 national minimum wage included in the House bill will have to be stripped out, according to legislative rules. Democrats want the legislation passed and on President Biden's desk by the middle of the month, when supplemental federal unemployment insurance is due to lapse. FBI Director Christopher Wray is shedding new light on the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol. Testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee today, he's facing tough questions about the FBI's handling of intelligence information leading up to the attack. This is the first time he's publicly spoken about the status of the investigation. He also weighed in on individuals involved in the attack, saying there's no evidence that fake Trump supporters staged it. He describes it as a form of domestic terrorism. In California, a big rig collided with a Ford Expedition, killing 13 people. The accident occurred near the California-Mexico border early this morning. There were 25 people in the Expedition at the time of the crash. Several were ejected. 12 of those people, including the driver, died at the scene. Another person died later at the hospital. The driver of the tractor-trailer was taken to an area hospital. The cause of that crash, including speeds of both vehicles, is under investigation. 6 Dr. Seuss books will no longer be published due to racially insensitive images. Dr. Seuss Enterprises, in charge of preserving and protecting the legacy of Dr. Seuss, announced the decision today on the author's birthday. In a statement, the business said these 6 books are being pulled because they portray people in hurtful ways. The group says they'd taken in feedback and discussed the concerns for several months before they came to this decision. Civil rights leader Vernon Jordan has died. He was 85 years old. According to family members, Jordan passed away peacefully, surrounded by loved ones. Jordan grew up in the segregated South and became an influential leader in the American civil rights movement, Washington politics, and Wall Street. He also served as an advisor to President Bill Clinton. Country music star Chris Young will be a Saturday night headliner at the Red River Valley Fair this summer. He'll take the grandstand on July 10th. Tickets go on sale for the concert next Friday, March 12th at 9 a.m. They're $35 and will include your gate admission to the fair. The 2021 Red River Valley Fair will be July 9th through the 18th at the fairgrounds in West Fargo. The Bison are hitting the road this weekend to take on Missouri State, and we've got your ticket to the game right here. The pregame show starts at 1 on Saturday afternoon, taking you all the way up to kickoff at 2. You can catch all the action on KVLY. Instagram is creating a new way you can chat with your friends live. We'll have details when Valley News Live at 4 continues.
And a beautiful look at downtown Fargo on this Tuesday. Temperatures will stay fairly pleasant for us as well on this Tuesday, falling into those 30s by the evening, eventually into the upper 20s as that cool front makes its way through. Then in Grand Forks, we're falling from near 50 degrees now into those 30s and of course 20s there. Expected that cold air going to get there sooner, but we'll talk about the rest of a very quiet week next.